What's up folks, my name is Felix. Welcome back to another video where we are going to talk about the base mainnet, the chances which are over there, how you can find potential good projects which are launching on that chain, and we also want to compare the recent data to the performance of the Binance Smart Chain in the early days. Without further ado, we want to get right into it, and as you can already see, we jumped over to DeFi Llama and the total value locked here is sitting at roughly 93 million US dollars. We are growing every single day. The top protocols, for example, BaseSwap, had a one-day change, a capital inflow of over 40%. And another top performer currently here on the base mainnet is SynthSwap. We will talk about their token as well in a few seconds. So the funny thing is, if we take a look on the base mainnet, the first thing which everybody will remember is the rug pull of the bald meme coin, which had around 80 to 90 million US dollar in market cap. And then the founder of the project pulled the plug, removed the liquidity and ran with the bag. And this will be the first thing everyone will know when we talk about the base mainnet probably for a while. So if we take a look on the potential of the chain, we have of course to take a look at what is Coinbase doing in the last years. So if we take a look on the annual income from 2017 to 2022, we can see that the platform was growing almost every single year, especially in the bull markets. Here in 2022, we can see a bigger loss in their annual income. But despite the fact that they made a minus in their annual income, the user growth was still there. And as we can see, 2020 and 2021, as well as in 2022, they gained more users every single year, as well as active users. And they have around 80 billion assets under management. In 2021, again, this was of course way more because the assets which they are holding lost in value, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the other altcoins. But if we take a look on the base mainnet here on L2Beat, we can see that base is now on top 5 place here with a total value locked of 182 million and a market share of over 1.7%. Of course, the top performer of all these Ethereum layer 2s is Arbitrum 1 with a market share of roughly 56%. But base is growing massively day by day, more projects getting launched and more capital is flowing on this mainnet. We can also see this on the daily transaction chart. For example, yesterday on the 10th of August, we had total transaction number of 750k. And if we take a look on the unique addresses, these increased day by day, now already by 144k from the 10th to the 11th of August. And if we compare, for example, the daily transactions in the early stages of the Binance Smart Chain, we can see that there we had a peak of 400k. Again, if we take a look on the base mainnet, here the peak after just 1 to 2 weeks was at already 750k, and that shows the potential of the chain, why this will grow even further when we come into a bull run, and will probably have way more total value locked in the future compared to the Binance Smart Chain. Now we want to talk about my top 3 yield farms, and of course the first one I have to mention is BaseSwap. The top performer right here, I mentioned this already in my airdrop guide as well as in my dedicated video about the platform. There we had a 2 to 3 US dollar price. Now the token price is sitting at $11.60. I, for example, had my entry at roughly 2 US dollars, exited 80% of my positions at 10 US dollars, so I made nice gains here. And there was another option in the market which I already talked about. This is the second platform, and the platform I'm talking about is obviously SynthSwap. Their token chart looks great as well. They started with around a $10 token price, and they are now sitting at 70 US dollars because more and more liquidity moves to the platform. And the third platform I wanted to mention is Swapbase, a newer one, a smaller one, but they still have great farming opportunities as well as both of the others. So if we scroll through this, you could provide liquidity with Ethereum and a stablecoin and can get up to 200% APR, sometimes even more. So if we take a look at the farming pools here on SynthSwap, they have also great APRs, for example, on wrapped ETH or on the stablecoin pair DAI USD BC for 74% yield farming returns. And BaseSwap, of course, as well, there the returns are not that high anymore because most of the pools, there's a lot of liquidity in them, but you could still go, for example, into ETH and USDC and get 25% APR, which is great in these market conditions. So as I already mentioned, I took advantage of these rising prices of the native DEX tokens, for example, the BSwap token and the SynSwap token. Would I still go in this native token right now? Probably not, because it already climbed up that much and the risk reward ratio is not that good anymore. The same from my perspective counts as well for the SynSwap token. But there are, of course, new projects which are coming out, which I wanted to show you now where you can find them. And the first platform I use for my research is, of course, Twitter, or as it's now called, X. And if you just type in base chain or search for the base hashtag and scroll through the timeline, you will find a lot of new projects which are promoting their stuff here on Twitter, a lot of YouTubers, influencers, which are shilling projects. The second platform, which in my opinion is the most underrated one, is DBank. So if you jump over to DBank and go to stream, click on hot projects and search here just for base or hashtag base. And there you will find a lot of topics about the base chain, how you can reduce your fees, how you can potentially find new platforms and other strategies for yield farming. So just take a look at DBank. I can really recommend this. There's great alpha over there all the time and not so much chilling as on Twitter. And the third platform I'm using to find potential good tokens is DEX Screener. Therefore, you just go to the base mainnet here on the left side and open up all the tokens. Then you can select them by volume, for example, and see which token does pretty well and do your research on those tokens. I usually also filter them by the 24-hour change, so how much growth they had over that period of time. And there you can find meme coins as well as solid project in its early stages, and of course a lot of rug pulls. So you should be very careful if you go to DEX Screener and invest in a random token. That should already do it for this video. I hope that gave you some insights on how I do my research on which platforms I'm currently using to yield farm. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comment section. All the links, of course, will be provided in the description box. And if you liked today's video, it would be great if you can hit the like button. Thanks for watching and let's get this crypto.